Make sure that you can come into an upright sitting position, that everything is turned off, your mobiles, no notifications. And I will tell you this in every class. Feel free, if you're at home, that you really create your yoga space. That maybe you want to place something in front of your mat, a candle or an image, so that you can really have space for yourself where you can practice. That's a little bit apart from your working or family life. And if you want to, feel free to do this right now. I'm happy to wait, so that you feel that you can come into your space that's different from professional conferences, video conferences. And whenever you're ready, find a nice sitting position where you feel comfortable. And I want to show you a mudra. It's very simple. Reunite the index finger onto the top of the first digit of our thumb. That's the right hand, even if you see left. Right hand, index finger, tip of index finger on the first digit underneath your nail bed of the thumb. And the other hand may just be placed on your legs or on the floor. And then I want to invite you for the first moments of the class to close your eyes, to check if the jaw is relaxed so that the teeth are not clenching, so we can get more space in our neck, and that you reconnect gently with your breathing, so we can stay or become calm and honor our space, so we can reconnect with ourselves and be there for us. And if you want to work with a visualization, imagine that you're entering your own temple and you're opening probably the door to your temple, and you can see your own personal altar and place something on top of it, whatever is important to you. And maybe there's a smell, a scent that you want to have there, some incense or essential oils, and that you slowly descend into this sacred space of yours. And come there as you would come to a person that you love, that you trust, and that you can be with yourself in this space with openness and uprightness, honesty. And invite you to be sincere towards yourself and to sense what's in your heart today. And we don't have to change anything or modify or improve, but that you can be in front of your own altar in your sacred temple as you are right now. And then for the first couple of breaths, sense that you can be with yourself. Maybe you're tired because it's difficult. Maybe you're joyous because it's so beautiful outside in spring. But I want to invite you to come to yourself home as you sit there. and accept what's here with integrity. You can keep your eyes closed. The mudra that we're holding right now unites our brain hemispheres with both sides of our heart. And there's so much changing right now, and so much has gone from our life. And there's so much insecurity. So it's really, really important that we have this connection between both brain hemispheres of creativity and analytics wholeheartedly. So we can have the full power of our heart in connection to ourselves. So we sense what we need, where we are, and maybe where we desire to go. And I would like you to take a couple of moments to sit in front of your own altar and sense the strongest desire that's emerging in your consciousness. It's not important if it's an emotion or a question. And I invite you to really see this probably in front of your inner eye. And take it like a gem, something very valuable, and place it on top of your altar. And see that within your temple, in your sacred space, this very valuable item has its space, its place. And when we're engaged with living from our heart and we reconnect both brain hemispheres, maybe there's something that's being created from within. And maybe you see yourself lighting a candle, bowing in front of your altar, and getting ready to have some distance and shift to your breath and to your breathing. And see if we can fill ourselves up and expand this as we breathe, so that we create space from the inside out. And I invite you to do this very calmly and gently. And for 5 long deep breaths, discover yourself, discover your body, whatever is expanding, whatever is relaxing. And we're at 3. And 4. And 5. Very good. And then at the end of your exhale, maybe the eyes are still closed. See if you can stay in connection to the ground, to your breath. Freeing up the mudra with an exhale. See whatever wants to relax, whatever wants to move. Maybe your head wants to move. And then slowly, with an inhale, reunite your palms in front of your heart. Exhale, let the shoulders roll back. Imagine you're still sitting in front of your altar. Inhale here, maybe feeling how the heart lifts. And with an exhale, fingers on Anya, bow to your altar, the item placed there, and for the moment, consciously let go. Draw the navel to the spine with an inhale. Return to an upright position. And with an exhale, see your altar, imagine in front of you. With confidence, gaze towards your item, to your altar, to the space you created, and return to yourself. Allow that the hands may move, that you're slowly inhaling, the heart lifts, and with an exhale, sense the floor you're sitting on. Let with an inhale all of your spine really ascend from the body, and with an exhale, firmly grounded to the floor, turn to your right. We just allow the hands to be on the floor. We can roll the shoulders back, creating some shoulder waves from front to back, activating the lung meridian, and the head may gently move. And really make sure that the pelvis is super stable on the floor. There's no shifting of the ilia. Allow the shoulders to roll back, to let them go. Lift with an inhale the heart one more time. And with an exhale, see if the head may turn further towards the right. And wherever you're looking to or gazing at, stay connected to the floor, to your breath. And very consciously make sure that you're aware of what you're looking at and maybe name it. Find the detail in what you're seeing, the structure, the form, while you try to really keep connected to the floor, to the breath. And we're here for 3 or for 1. Maybe the exhale can deepen the pose very naturally. 2. 3. And then inhale one more time. Feel the heart lift. And with an exhale, slowly return to center. I will turn around so you see me better. Bring both arms to your back. Let with an exhale, the shoulders roll back, the heart lift. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Shoulders rolling back, and with an inhale, lifting our arms to the back in Prasarita C arms. Finding ourselves at center, maybe the head may or wants to turn, so that you feel probably a slight stretch and freedom in the neck and base of the skull. And there's emptiness in our perception of our thoughts, and we can sense and feel and breathe for 1. And 2. And then, very good, with an inhale, lift the heart one more time. Feel expansion throughout the chest. And with an exhale, bending the elbows, letting the hands descend, freeing up the hands. And return to front. With an exhale, reconnect to the floor if you've lost it. We are drawing with an inhale upward, out of the pelvis. And with an exhale, again, keeping the connection to the floor and the breath, we're slowly turning to the left without pivoting the pelvis or shifting it. Allow the shoulders to create space by rolling them back, spontaneously lifting the heart. So we can, with a solid base, stay fluid. You're doing this wonderfully. Arriving with an inhale, and with an exhale, very gently, twisting very naturally to the left. And the pelvis really stable, the right ilia doesn't come forward. And for the next breath, we really want to stay connected to the floor. And return with the gaze to an item in front of us, consciously naming it, trying to keep it in our consciousness, to stay connected to the floor and breathe for 1. Very slow breath. 2. And 3. Very good. And then inhale, feeling the heart lift, head is free. And with an exhale, returning to Dhyana, stabilizing the pelvis, returning to the front, moving the shoulders. And with an inhale, you can come forward, freeing up the legs. And with an exhale, come into your first downward dog. I will move more to the back so you can see me better, and invite you to, when you come into the downward dog, stay connected to the floor through your feet and your hands. Make sure that the head is released. And maybe you want to find stability by becoming very calm and still, or maybe you need to move a little bit and to come into the fluidity of your body. So maybe you want to pulse with your breath for 3, 1, 2, and 3. Very good. And we will come into our Sushumna or spine and really want to create new spaces there. So push your feet consciously in the floor or into the floor and come with an inhale forward into plank. Exhale, releasing the neck. We can navel to spine. Inhale and really push ourselves away from the floor. And with an exhale, finding the connection to the floor and realizing where we're looking at. We're inhaling here, and with an exhale, slowly allow the knees to descend to the floor. The shoulders stay anchored to the pelvis, rolling back. We can inhale, lifting the heart, making sure the neck is released, and with an exhale, slowly descending into Chaturanga onto the floor. So that we can always stay connected to the solid foundation of our connection to the floor. Neck is relaxed. We, from our lower belly, rise with an inhale into the cobra. Shoulders can be rolled back, elbows drawing back. And with an exhale, drawing the spine long forward, we're returning to the floor. Neck is still very flexible. We pivot our pelvis with tailbone to heels. Tip of the shoulder blades drawing towards the pelvis. With an inhale, stable spine, navel to spine, come up onto hands and knees. And with an exhale, come into the downward dog. And I invite you to move. To sense if you can still feel the floor and stay connected to it. Maybe feel the points of contact for your hands, the fingertips, the feet. Last 1, 3. Very good. And then from here, allow the movement to run its course, to find stability, and slowly onto or on the tips of your toes, like you would move forward very gently, come in front or behind your hands. Inhale, lift yourself up, draw the spine long. And with an exhale, allow the shoulders to ground, to reconnect. We're inhaling here. And with an exhale, we're diving down, straight, long back, anchoring ourselves. And I'm having the mic so I cannot let go of my head fully, but really feel that you releasing the back of your head, the base of the skull, the brainstem, and maybe you, with connection to the floor and your breath, want to have a memory and reconnect with what you're bowing to as you breathe. And then with an inhale, lift, unfolding the body. And with an exhale, grounding the shoulders, finding navel to spine. We're lifting our arms, bringing them to the side as if we would soar. Neck is free. And with an inhale, we'll slowly come up, back up to standing. And return with an exhale, our hands, fingertips to Anya, the forehead. Pelvis is upright. And we're breathing slowly for 2. Feel that the breath, 1, can really connect the floor with the ground. 2. And from here, 3, lift with the next inhale your heart. And exhale, allow the arms to relax for a moment. From our center, with the next inhale, we're lifting our right leg, knee bent up. Exhale, finding ourselves at center. And we pivot around our hips and step back. Both arms can, with an exhale, descend around your left foot. Allow the shoulders to roll, the head to circulate. Drawing the sit bones together, stabilizing the pelvis. With an inhale, lifting the left arm up. Exhale, working through the back leg. Return to center, rounding, finding Uddiyana, releasing the head. And we're doing this 2 more times. With an inhale, allow the left arm to rise. With an exhale, come into this contraction as an active contraction, not a collapse. Inhale, lifting the left arm up. And with an exhale, return. Left arm reaching to center. With an inhale, bring the left arm forward. And with an exhale, allowing it to descend to the floor, feeling it. Shoulders are anchored. And we're slowly freeing up our left leg and lifting it up with an inhale into Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. And with an exhale, drawing the knee to chest, step forward 1 more time. We're turning 180 degrees to the side, facing our right leg. And you're probably facing away from me. Find the sit bones anchored, working actively through the left hamstrings. And with an inhale, we're lifting our right arm up. Only the thoracic spine twists, and with an exhale, we're actively rounding, finding center, releasing the head. We're doing this 2 more times. With an inhale, the right arm comes up. And with an exhale, returning to center. See if you can stay grounded to the floor, sensing this as you breathe and move. Inhale, arm comes up. Exhale, returning to center, active left leg. And then with an inhale, allow the right arm to come forward. And with an exhale, allow it to descend on the floor, sensing the connection. Shoulders are firmly anchored. We return to center and come up with an inhale into high lunge. Both arms overhead. Exhale. Allow that the legs are drawing apart, that you arrive at center. And we're pausing here for 2, 1. Sit bones drawing together. And 2. Again, inhale 1 more time. And with an exhale, we're descending onto the floor, both hands framing the right foot. We inhale, lengthening the spine. And with an exhale, slowly returning the right leg to the back, coming with an inhale into Ekabada Adho Mukha Svanasana, and with an exhale, shoulders firmly grounded, right knee to chest, make the step forward. With an inhale, round, activating the hamstrings of the left leg, and with an exhale, lengthening left knee away from right knee, left heel away from right knee. We're inhaling, pivoting over the side, and when exhale, we come forward again, returning to our left leg. Find the shoulders grounded. Come with an inhale, back, left leg steps to right. Exhaling, finding the floor, releasing the head. Can stay still if this feels more comfortable for your lower back, finding the stabilization or pulsing for 3 long deep breaths. Be aware of your shoulders. 1, 2, finding the sides of your waist long, elongated. 3, very good. We're slowly coming into a vinyasa, pushing from the core into the feet, inhaling, sailing forward into plank. Exhale, stabilizing the shoulders, stabilizing the core. Inhale, elongate the spine, being aware of what we're looking at, and with an exhale, keeping navel glued to the spine, descend the knees, lifting the heart with an inhale, tailbone to heels, and with an exhale, come down in your chaturanga. The shoulders can roll back, the elbows draw towards the heels as we ascend with an inhale naturally into a cobra that honors the brainstem and the heart. And with an exhale from the lower belly, draw yourself forward, forehead to the floor. Pelvis tilts, tailbone to heels. With an inhale, we come up onto hands and knees, and with an exhale, into the downward dog. Find your breath again, moving, or if you choose to, stay still. And we're here, sensing the connection to the floor, our connection points through hands and feet, and our breath. 2 and 3. Very good. Slowly arrive at center. And again, we're wandering forward, tiptoeing towards the back of our hands, towards the heels of our hands. Feel free to always ascend onto your fingertips if you need more space, bending the knees. We want to lengthen the spine as we lift up with an inhale. Exhale, shoulders are grounded, and we're diving down, releasing the head. Heart wants to reach the tip of your toes. With an inhale, lift up, lengthening the spine. Exhale, allow the right hand to come to the mats right at the center of your feet. Keep the pelvis really stable so the sacrum is parallel to the floor, and with an inhale, lifting up the left arm. And we're keeping our right foot really glued to the floor, sensing our connections to the floor as we breathe. And then with an exhale, allow the left hand to be placed where the right hand just was. And with an inhale, we're lifting the right arm up to the sky. Make sure that you really twist from the thoracic spine, not the pelvis, keeping the left heel glued and foot glued to the floor. And with an exhale, allow the right arm to descend to the left. With an inhale, lifting the arms up again in this soaring eagle. And with an exhale, maybe the knees are bending, finding yourself in center, and support your spine as you rise. With an inhale, arms overhead. And with an exhale, allow the shoulders to descend, your hands coming to your heart, finding your awareness, your consciousness, your heart reunited, connecting to the floor and to your breath. 1, 2, and 3. And then slowly from here, find the pelvis upright again. We're lifting with an inhale our left bent knee up. Feel that you're working from center. With an exhale, step back with your left leg. Find yourself in this high lunge position again, both hands to the floor. Always feel free to correct your stance or your position. And we're setting our hands a little bit further apart or farther apart than our shoulders. Active back leg, we're inhaling, rounding, and with an exhale, lengthening the spine hard, drawing forward, bending the elbows to the side, diving deeper. With an inhale, we can round, lifting up, and with an exhale, actively drawing our spine long, left heel drawing away from the right knee. We're inhaling, actively reconnecting to center, and from this, with an exhale, maybe elbows bending, lengthening the spine, diving deeper, opening the right groin. With an inhale, come up again. With an exhale, setting your hands back straight underneath your shoulders. Find that you're stabilizing again your back, and with an inhale, lift the right arm up. Exhaling here, and slowly we're coming from center with an inhale into a twisted high lunge. The right knee draws away from the left heel. We're inhaling here, maybe the back arm can draw us up a little bit further, pelvis stable, and with an exhale, we're coming back down with our hands around our right foot, freeing up the right leg, letting it ascend with an inhale into Ardha Dhanurasana, and with an exhale, stepping forward into lunge position one more time. We're switching over Prasarita, feet parallel, back towards our left foot. Again, finding the sit bones drawing together, both ilia pointing towards the floor. Inhale, lengthen, hands a little bit further apart than your shoulders. Exhale, bending the elbows and drawing the spine long. With an inhale, round yourself up. Find right heel and left knee in opposition as you descend, bending the elbows, long straight spine, neck released. We're inhaling, rounding, reconnecting to center, and with an exhale, diving deeper. Neck is free. From here, with an inhale, come up halfway, exhale, setting the hands. Active right leg. And with an inhale, right hand still to the floor, lifting the left arm. Exhale, finding the shoulders grounded. Slowly, left arm still lifting, drawing you up. Come with an inhale into Parivrita High Lunge. Exhale, finding back right heel, left knee in opposition, spreading the arms, really drawing them out of the torso. Inhaling one more time, and with an exhale, come forward and return into the high lunge. Find yourself in the lower belly, feeling the floor, feeling the breath, feeling the pose, and breathing for 2, 1. Really feel yourself at center, very good. 2. You're inhaling one more time, and then with an exhale, bring both hands to the floor again. We're inhaling, elongating, and with the exhale, pivoting through center back to our right foot. Both shoulders firmly grounded from center. We allow that the right leg may ascend with an inhale, and exhaling, right foot to the left. Come into Ardha Dhanurasana, stay still for finding length in the lower spine, or move if your body needs this right now. We're breathing for 2. And 3. Find yourself at center. Feel the connection to the floor. From center, pushing the feet, soar forward with an inhale into plank. Exhale, heels drawing away, shoulders firmly grounded. Maybe you want to bring your knees to the floor. Maybe you want to descend into a chaturanga with straight legs. In any case, we're releasing the pelvis to the floor. And then with an inhale, allow the arms to come into the soaring eagle position again. Exhale, see that the shoulders are grounded. And then with an inhale, bring the arms or rotate the arms so that the palms are facing up to the sky. And with an exhale, interlace the fingers as you turn your hands again. Keep the feet firmly grounded onto the floor. The neck is released. And with an inhale, draw yourself a little bit higher, lifting the heart. Find yourself at center as you descend with an exhale, and with your inhale, rise back up again. Hands are actively drawing back, shoulders rolled back. Last time, inhale, sensing this free heart, this free front rotator cuff. And see that for a moment as you exhale, the heart may probably hover over the floor, freeing up the arms. Inhale, bringing the arms forward. And with an exhale, slowly allow the hands to come to the floor. Your forehead may descend here to the floor. Find that you can really release all tension from your body. Maybe the head wants to turn a little bit. I'm just lifting my head so you can hear me and the mic is not scratching the floor. Feel the contact of your heart to the floor. And go back just into honoring all these efforts we're putting into our daily lives. And we can send a prayer here in prostration for support from the inside. And can all release all our efforts in front of our inner altar. And can present it in our inner temple, offering it to something higher than ourselves. When we're feeling the floor and breathing very calmly for one. Forehead relaxed. And two. Very good. And then slowly, when the head is resting on the floor from the center, allow that with an inhale the heart can lift and then the head follows. Feel that the neck is elongated. Exhale, anchoring the shoulders. We can slowly release the arms, bringing them back with our fingertips underneath our shoulders, shoulders rolling back, elbows drawing back. And from center, push yourself up with an inhale onto hands and knees. And with an exhale, allow the feet to come to the floor. And slowly wander with your hand, with a flowing breath, to your knees. The distance between your knees is approximately 2 fists width. And start to roll up with an inhale from center. Come into a kneeling position. Always feel free to pad up your knees if you need to. Shoulders are rolled back, pelvis is upright with tailbone to the back side of your heels or knees. Neck is free. Come in front of your inner altar in your sacred temple. And with an inhale, with your prayer, lift your heart. And with an exhale, finding the tailbone anchored to the back side of your knees. Lifting the whole spine with an inhale, the neck is free, the back of the neck long. And with an exhale, see how far you can bend back without any pain in the lower back. So the lower back is not collapsing, it's actually elongated, drawing out of the pelvis up. Be very conscious again here and connected and true to yourself, your own body. And breathe in this offering for one. See if you can really lift the heart. 2 and 3. Very good. Before you come back up again, really find yourself at center, releasing this offering. We're inhaling, slowly shortening the distance between the heart and the navel. And with an exhale, allow the arms to release, the shoulders to roll back, and come navel to spine, slowly with your pelvis onto your heels, arms and hands in front of you, feeling the contact to the floor, and come into Balasana, Child's Pose. And we can very gently pulse here. With an inhale, the back rounds. With an exhale, find this extension, this length of the spine. The neck may completely go. I'm just lifting it so you hear me better. With an inhale, rounding the spine, drawing the heart actively forward, and releasing into a long, straight spine. Shoulders drawing to the pelvis. Last time, inhale, rounding up. With an inhale, reconnected to center, and with an exhale, finding new space along Sushumna, straight spine as you descend to the floor, sensing the contact. See if it's possible to reconnect to your navel, to your center as you breathe, and ask for power, clarity, freedom, being able to listen to your own voice, to your own inner voice, having this calm to be able to listen and attend to. Maybe with an exhale there's a release that's coming. We are firmly anchored in Uddiyana, our creative center, around the navel, navel drawing to spine. Head is released as we come up on hands and knees with an inhale. And with an exhale, allow the hands to wander back directly underneath your shoulders. Maybe you can feel the floor as you do this. Maybe you can feel your breath as you're doing this. And with an inhale, we're lifting our right leg back up. Exhale, still supporting us through center, freeing up the left arm. See that you're on the same height as with your right shoulder, that you're not collapsing on the left side. So the right arm really pushes. And then with an inhale, slowly bending the right knee. See if you can still feel the floor through the right hand. Exhaling, allowing the left arm to circle back, lifting the heart at the same time, supporting us through center, sensing the flow and the breath. With an inhale, see if you can get a hold of your right foot. Maybe the left arm stays just drawing back without touching. And with an exhale, we're still feeling the floor underneath our right hand as we push and come into Ardha Dhanurasana. And we're staying here, slowly pulsing from center for 3 long deep breaths. 2, see if you can feel the space that you create in your front thigh. 3, and then slowly with the next inhale, pushing the right foot into your left hand. And with an exhale, as you release, draw to center, returning the left hand to the floor, the right foot to the floor, sitting back into Child's Pose, allowing that all the tension may release into the floor, sensing the floor and the breath and the center as we pulse here for 1. We can arrive in front of our inner altar in our sacred temple, releasing the hands. 2. And last one. 3. Shoulders are really firmly grounded, neck released. We're finding ourselves in the lower belly, in Uddiyana, navel to spine. And from the center, allow that the inhale brings you back up with the aid of the floor. So feel this as you're coming forward. Exhale, grounding the shoulders. Find the contact through your hands to your knees. Activate your center again with an exhale so you can really move from this. Shoulders firmly anchored with an inhale. Allow the left leg to come back. Feel the heel moving towards the sky, and then with an exhale, bending the left knee. The right arm can, with an inhale, come forward, finding shoulders at the same height away from the floor. With an exhale, releasing the neck so you're not holding from there. Return to center. And with the next exhale, allow the right arm to come back. Maybe you're staying here if you can't touch, but maybe you can. And you're getting a hold of your left foot. Find the left shoulder grounded as you push from center with an inhale, with your left foot into your right hand, drawing yourself up. And with an exhale, see if you can bring your shoulders back onto the same height. And we're breathing for 3, sensing the floor, the connection to it, the breath, the awareness of the pose. 2, really push away from the floor. 3, inhale one more time, elongating. And then with an exhale, slowly allow to descend, returning to center when the left knee touches the floor, and sit back, gathering our own creative energy in center as we come into child's pose. See if you can feel the floor through your hands, through your forearms, through your elbows. And we come into this utter sense of calm and peace in the present moment, feeling us supported through the floor, finding our vitality as we reconnect to the breath, finding ourselves as we reconnect to center. And all the structures that we're cultivating with sensing all of this are going to help and aid us and stay with us throughout our life. So really savor this potential. And maybe this will also support our sacred item on our altar. With an exhale, return to your center, activating it, drawing in and up. Hold this, neck is released as you come up with an inhale onto hands and knees. Exhale, flexing the feet, return into Ardha Dhanurasana, downward dog. And maybe you stay still, maybe you're moving. The neck is free. And we're here for 3 long deep breaths. 1, 2, shoulders firmly grounded. And 3. And then from here, flowing into your right leg, slowly from center, inhale, exhale. Feel that you can push the left foot more into the floor, opening the right hip. And maybe the shoulders are still on the same level. I wish for that. Squaring your shoulders. And then with an exhale, bending the right knee, so that your right heel may descend or fall towards your sit bones. Feel that there is this slight rotation as the shoulders are still parallel to the floor. You're rotating through the thoracic spine. Inhale, and with an exhale from your lower belly, drawing your bent right knee to center. Shoulders are firmly anchored to your hips. We're flowing back, finding parallel shoulders, opening up the right hip, inhaling, drawing the right bent leg a little bit higher if we can. And with an exhale, we're coming into the core pull, drawing this energy to center. Last time, gather as you're opening the psoas on the right. Inhale. And from your creative center, with an exhale, drawing the knee forward, shoulders glued to pelvis. And maybe you can inhale here Being aware of the tension, the connection to the floor and your breath, and with an exhale, step forward with your right leg. If this doesn't happen by itself, allow your right hand to help you. And maybe you need to readjust in your room so you can make a slight step forward, a slight push forward as you come with an inhale. With your left leg up, hands are fingertips on the floor, shoulders are glued to the pelvis, drawing together behind the heart. And maybe you stay here, or maybe you can soar up with your arms parallel to the floor into this variation of Virabhadrasana 3. Find the connection to the floor, find the hips parallel, the inner thighs drawing back and up. And then slowly with an exhale, bring your hands back to the floor, finding center, shoulders grounded. Inhale, and with an exhale, bending the left knee and stepping to your right foot. Finding the grounding again, finding the connection to the floor. Maybe the knees are bent. Maybe hands on your elbows hang loose for a moment. Neck can release. And everything, all the tensions that are on the surface can flow like water from your body into the floor. And then maybe when we're breathing, that we can maybe also stay connected to the floor, to the breath, and maybe do what we're hearing on the outside through our windows, the birds, the warmer air that we can sense. Our breath 3. Very good. And then from here, slowly release your hands from your elbows. Walk back or forward, depending on where you stand. Observe your shoulders so that they stay connected to your pelvis. And we can, in harmony with our breath, walk back into Ardha Dhanurasana, or the downward dog. Allow the head to release. Bring all of your awareness into the contact to the floor. And find your breath again for 1, 2, and 3. Awesome. And then from here, the right leg or foot may step into the center of your mat. And with an inhale, or the next inhale, allow the left leg to come up. Find the right foot as it pushes into the floor, supporting your left ascended leg. Exhale, find yourself at center, squaring the shoulders, and with the next inhale, bending the left knee. Your left heel descends towards your sit bones. See if you can, with an inhale, keep this connection and lifting the left knee a little bit higher. And with an exhale, push through your right foot. Center is active, shoulders glued to the pelvis, and the knee draws towards your chest. We're moving back into downward dog, letting with an inhale our bent left knee and leg ascend. Shoulders squared, and with an exhale, find again that from center you can draw this leg forward. Last time, with an inhale, shoulders squared, left knee ascends. And with an exhale, last time, draw the knee forward. Wait for a moment, feeling the connection to the floor, feeling the inhale. And with an exhale, step forward or allow your left hand to draw your left foot forward. Ankle directly onto under your knee. Depending on where you stand, move back in your room so you have enough space in front of you as we move forward with a little push from our right foot into Virabhadrasana 3. Inner thighs drawing back or up to the sky, and with an inhale, maybe you keep your fingertips on the floor or you're lifting the arms and soaring again. Shoulders are fearlessly anchored to your pelvis, and we're breathing for 1. Wonderful. 2. You're really doing great. Stay at center. 3. And then with the next exhale, allow both hands to descend to the floor. And slowly with an exhale, allowing the leg that's up to return to the leg or foot on the floor. Allow the knees to bend, empty, finding calm and connection as you breathe and release. Maybe your mouth is open, maybe you're pulsing, reconnecting to center actively in a C curve, no collapsing. And with an exhale, release the spine, the neck. The feet are actively pushing, and we are at 2. And 3. Very good. Release the head one more time. If you had your hands on your elbows as you did before, release the hands onto the floor. And we allow the shoulders to sit grounded. We can walk our feet a little bit further apart. Maybe the heels are turned in, the toes out, but you can also have your feet parallel, and we're coming into a squat. So make sure that your feet are, to the best of your abilities, firmly anchored in the floor. If that's really hard for you with your ankles, just support your heels on a block or bolster so you don't have to struggle with your ankles. And stay here very calmly. And you're still with your own altar in your inner temple. And try to stay present in this squat, to be aware of what's on the outside in front of you, to be aware of your inner temple, your sacred space. And we're just staying with our own presence, practicing to do this in our daily lives with our inner temple, the awareness of space, the grounding, the rooting, the breath. And then maybe you can come forward onto hands and knees. And we're trying our peak pose today. And if it's too much, just stay in child's pose. Or try with me one of my favorite poses from the Catholic Budic practices. It's the baby crow. So we're on our lower forearms and squeezing the inside of our thighs and knees onto our forearms, lifting off our feet off the floor and soaring here in the baby crow, really reconnecting to center. And maybe if you're here, stay here for 3 breaths. 1, 2, find your strength at center if there's not so much space. 2, you've been in there? Awesome. 3, and then slowly descend again. And maybe you come to sitting on your heels. If that's uncomfortable, choose a different position, free up your hands, shaking them out, and then maybe we all reunite in Balasana or Child's Pose. Allow that the head can be free, that you can pulse with your breath. It's like soft, gentle waves from the inside to the outside, massaging your spine with an active center. And celebrate this possibility as you practice, that you can find yourself sometimes challenged, but always connected and alive. 2. And if you're moving the shoulders, 3, allow the movement to cease slowly. Slowly walk forward with your knees towards your hands. You can cross the shins and roll over your leg if that's okay for your knees, or bring both legs over the side. And return to a seated position on the floor. And if you're well equipped and you have a yoga block at home, please get it. If you don't have a block, it's not a problem. We will work around it using our arms and hands. But I want to show you the variation with the block. So if you have a block, place it upright or on the lower and underneath your sacrum for a Golden Gate variation. But the main point is not if we have a block, but if we can roll the shoulders back and keep these wide collarbones and elevate the heart. So we're using our hands and forearms on the floor to do this if we're lacking a block. The main point is that the neck is free and the heart is wide open. So we can gather all this positive energy for our social engagement system and breathing. So with an inhale, roll up into a shoulder bridge. And with an exhale, maybe you can stay here with your arms pushing into the floor. The shoulders can roll back and really push into the floor. Your neck is not carrying any weight. You're really resting on your shoulders. Or you're using the block underneath your sacrum, lower end or high end. And we're really lifting our creative center a little bit higher than usual, so that we have this free space in front of our pelvis for our creative energy, and also where the liver meridian in the groins ascends deeper into the body, nourishing the organs. And no matter where you are with a block or using your arms, 3 long deep breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Very good. And then slowly allow the hips to lift off a little bit with an inhale from the block, or maybe you can gather more space. And with an exhale, I know your legs are working, your glutes are working. Slowly descend vertebrae by vertebrae, feeling that your sit bones are drawing to the back of your knees, so that we're really super stable throughout the pelvis, that we're not pivoting from the left or right. We're really ascending onto rails to the left and right of our spine, back onto the floor. We can focus on our breath. We can focus on the contact that we create with the floor, and finding this slow release, and then let go of all the tension throughout the neck, throughout the shoulders, throughout the arms, and slowly allow the legs to walk forward a little bit, coming into Parakonasana here, the feet, the soles of the feet touching, the knees are flowing out. Feel free to support your thighs with bolsters or blocks if you feel your knees complaining. And if that's a problem at all, this pose doesn't really suit you, just stay with the knees bent, knees towards the ceiling, or straight legs. One hand may come to your belly, the other hand to your heart, and sense what's present right now, what is nourishing. What's really bringing joy into your life? What's really making you feel alive, feeling that living can be joyful? And maybe with an exhale, staying connected to the sensation of our body on the floor, our breath, we can feel that the backside of our heart is grounding, releasing into the floor. And we stay in this wide, free space. And slowly allow to dive deeper into this inner space of sensing and being present. I invite you to again reconnect heart and brain, to maybe visualize this infinity sign, but not in a horizontal position, but in a vertical position, so that the heart and the brain hemispheres can stay in exchange. And as you rest here, to find 3 things, maybe 3 attributes of yourself that you really, really value highly. So come into a very respectful place inside yourselves and really be a little bit picky, so that you're sensing that you really arriving in a space within you where you're respecting yourself. And maybe there are 3 coming, maybe there's more coming. Just let it present yourself. Don't force yourself, maybe there's just 1 thing coming, that's enough. And then slowly shift from yourself away to the weeks past. Maybe this whole challenging year, and find gratitude for someone who supported you or a group of people who supported you, or something that nourished you on the outside that you're grateful for. And allow to come whatever may come, and maybe sense your gratitude, that you're grateful. This realization or rediscovery of what's here for you. See if your jaw is relaxed, the breath is still flowing, you're aware of the connection to the floor. And then allow this to be released. And see if there's something presenting itself that you've learned or integrated deeply over the last weeks. Maybe it has really touched your soul. Maybe you learned new techniques. Maybe you discovered something new about yourself. And be curious if it's possible to be grateful for that. Allow to embrace whatever's coming. And descend into sensing your hand on your belly, the other hand in nice contact with your heart. And perceive that when we're in contact with respecting, valuing ourselves affectionately, and are in contact with respect and gratitude for what's on the outside, nourishing us, supporting us, and are in contact with the respect and gratitude for how we grow, that we can come with a renovated, renewed inner temple. Sense if there's calm within your being. Sense if you feel balanced. Maybe using the feedback from the floor. And sense if there's more space in your being for this free and vivid, alive exchange of breath. Inspiration. And very consciously take 2 long deep breaths. 1. Sense what's relaxing within your body, within your being. 2. And then slowly release your hands from belly and heart. Bring your fingertips, your hands to the outside of your thighs if you're in Parakonasana legs. And if you're in Parakonasana legs, really come into the ritual of closing a chapter of your life as you bring your knees together, as we would close a book that's lying open on the floor. Find this closure, find this completion. Allow, as we meet here, to come with one knee to your chest and then the other leg follows. And releasing your lower back, this unconscious portion of Swadhisthana, or the formation of the self. And whatever we discovered about ourselves, or in regards to our gratitude and appreciation, can maybe ascend into our center and be a good company for our further path in our life. And maybe in your soul, in your inner somatic self, there's now soil that will nourish your seeds that you discovered. We can slowly reawaken our body, moving the head, the feet, and then slowly from center, either over the side or through center, come back up to a seated position. And as you're here, I invite you to close your eyes, to visualize your sacred temple, inside your sacred temple, your altar. And maybe there's a smile coming to your face. And you decide, just feel it spontaneously, whatever wants to come. If you take your sacred item from your altar and bring it back into your own room, or if you leave it there resting on your altar. Just really imagine you doing this, because our brain doesn't distinguish between our imagination and reality. And then be ready to close this inner sacred space so it's really protected. So we can, both hands, reunite in front of our heart or forehead. Inhale. And with an exhale, can bow to our own life energy that's guiding us and created us. And then slowly with an inhale, return to an upright position and release our hands with an exhale. Maybe the doors, you can see this, maybe the Zen temple where the doors are closing. And maybe you want to place flowers in front of the door. Feel what's right for you. So that it's that you really found closure with your practice. Allow the arms to descend, and thank you for practicing.